Hello and welcome to the NorseForce Valhalla Cup Series live tonight from Richmond Raceway for race number 10 of the Valhalla Cup Series, presented by Blaze Pizza, ButtKicker, Next Level Racing, and Crockett Creek Beef Jerky. Let's head to the racetrack and see how these drivers are doing as they are in the middle of their qualifying session. We'll give you a rundown on the point standings as they come into tonight's race as well. So let's take a look at the racetrack. Derek Justice on the speedway, trying to put a lap time in. He makes his way around here, trying to put a solid lap in and get some more practice. He joined the session a little bit late, so we'll have to see how he does. Runs a 20.3. Looks like he has used up his laps that count, so currently just working his way around the speedway, getting that practice time in, and looks like we have a pretty good sized field here tonight, at least 20, maybe almost 25 drivers. Right now Anthony Burrows sitting on that top spot here, so he comes in as your points leader. And let's take a look at the standings as the drivers come into tonight's race. And Anthony Burrows comes in with a pretty sizable lead into race number 10 here. Currently 134 points up on the competition. Matt Kemp has moved up to the second position. He has a 74-point gap up to that cut line. And only the top 12 will advance to the playoffs when we get to that point in the season. Still quite a few races yet to go. The playoffs will not start until February after race number 18. So these guys have a little while to make up ground if they're not in the show yet, but Anthony Burrows has shown the way the entire season. An incredible year for him so far, and he continues to have a commanding lead over the rest of the field. However, Matt Kemp, Derek Justice, Connor Horn, Ian Smith, all pretty reasonably safe for the moment. Other drivers up here inside the top 12 include Wade Hustad, Chris Simard, Zach Nichols, Jimmy Mullis, Keith Mayato, Dylan Alt, and Dylan Parker, who got a victory just a few weeks ago. Malik Ray, last week's winner, has 2 wins on the season, but he's on the outside looking in, just 3 points behind Parker. Eric Royce, Briar LaPrade, Nicholas Short, Kirk Marble, John Furness, Josh Lambert, and Caden Rush, all also within striking distance here. They do have the time to make up that gap, but those are your top 20 coming into tonight's race, so those are going to be drivers to keep an eye on. Everybody else fairly far back and almost surely out of contention, but anything can happen, and unlike in the actual Cup Series, the wins do not guarantee you into the playoffs, so drivers cannot rely on that kind of thing here to get them into the postseason. But should be a good one here tonight. Of course, our sponsors are Next Level Racing, Crockett Creek Beef Jerky, Blaze Pizza, as well as the ButtKicker. And if you're tuned in here to the Valhalla Cup Series, you can save 20% on your purchase of ButtKicker products. If you head to their website, use the code NORSE20 to save 20% off your purchase. That is at thebuttkicker.com. Check them out. A big sponsor of this series and providing some of their devices to drivers at the end of the season. So pretty cool that they are on board here. Give them your support. Check out their products over at their website and use the code NORSE20 to save 20% on your purchase. Welcome, Blazer Pete. Thanks for tuning in. Of course, this is V-Speed, and we are live tonight once again on Twitch. We're here multiple times throughout the week. We're bringing you the Valhalla Cup Series action week in and week out. The Raider SK Modified Series on Thursdays as well. We won't be presenting that tomorrow. Of course, it is Thanksgiving, and we want to wish you all an early Thanksgiving. Hopefully you have a great time with your family or your loved ones and everything you're thankful for tomorrow. But tonight we're going racing here on Twitch. If you haven't already, please consider following or subscribing to V-Speed so you can stay up to date with all the action from the NorseForce Valhalla Cup Series right here on Twitch. You can also find us on YouTube, where we post race replays as well as other interesting content. So you can check out last week's race at Darlington, which was cut short. You can check out the result there. Malik Ray came out on top. and all the other races from this season. You can also find us on Facebook, where we post race announcements before each and every broadcast, as well as over on Instagram and Twitter, where we post those same announcements as well as new merchandise, special events, and on-site reporting as the field starting to wrap up here. And let's see if anybody else is on track. Dylan Parker is out here, that number 25 machine. Looks like he is not going to get a time in. Is not going to meet the clock there. Connor Horn coming around. Not sure if he's going to be able to get a lap time in. Touches it off the wall and not going to make it back to the line. So this is how we are going to roll off here tonight. Let's take a look at your starting grid in race number 10 here at Richmond Raceway. Starting on the pole, it's going to be Anthony Burrows, your points leader. Really good starting spot for him tonight on that front row at the front of the field. Ian Smith going to be rolling off in second. Good starting position for him here as well. And we'll see how they can do tonight. Jimmy Mullis back after a week off. He's going to roll off in third here. And alongside him is going to be the 82 machine of John Furness. In fifth position, it's going to be Robbie Oddie. Starting in sixth, it'll be Nicholas Short. In seventh, Rajat Karuth, making his first start here, I believe, in that seventh position. And an iRacing E-Ignite Series driver, as well as driver in the Bojangles Summer Shootout in the Legends cars. So look for him to have some short track skills here tonight in the seventh position. Briar LaPrade, of course, winner at Auto Club earlier this season, rolling off in eighth position. Kirk Marble going to be starting in that ninth position. Mark Love rolling off in 10th. In 11th, it is Jake Matheson. 12th is going to be Matt Kemp in that number 48 machine. Nick Hulslander starting in 13th position. Justin Botello, who joined the room late here, I think, is going to be rolling off in the 14th position. Malik Ray, last week's winner and two-time winner on the season, rolling off in 15th, and alongside him, it's going to be Keith Maotto in that 16th position. Zach Nichols in the Blaze Pizza, or I'm sorry, I think he has the Crockett Creek Beef Jerky machine tonight, rolling off in that 17th position. And Dylan Alt going to be rolling off in 18th position. Derek Justice going to be the first of the drivers to not take a time here. He will start in 19th. Connor Horn going to be rolling off in the 20th position. Dylan Parker going to be starting in 21st. Josh Lambert starting in the 22nd position. Eric Royce rolling off in 23rd, and Chris Samard going to be starting in 24th. And that's going to do it for our field here. 24 drivers. As we take a look at the front here, they are starting to get rolling. And I think it's going to be a good one. It'll be a 200 lap race, 150 miles here. And make your prediction for who's going to win. Call out your favorite driver in chat. Let them know you're here and cheering for them. And really looking forward to a short track race here tonight from these guys. Haven't had one since Martinsville, I believe. So we are back at it with the short track racing in the Valhalla Cup Series. As the pace car going to lead them around, I believe they're going to go one more lap here. Let's take a look at tonight's track conditions. 85-degree air temp and 85-degree track temp. So should be plenty of grip in these race cars. But we saw drivers struggling with both turn entry and turn exit. So the setup they've got in the car doesn't have a lot of grip, though the track does have grip. So we'll have to see how they can adjust with their brake bias and their driving style here tonight and see who comes out on top. But should be a pretty good one here, and we're of course really looking forward to it. Ray Smith, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you tuning in. Hope you enjoy tonight's broadcast, as well as everyone else tuned in. Thank you for joining. Race number 10 of the Valhalla Cup Series about to get underway. Pace car takes it down onto the pit lane, and we are waiting on that green flag to get things going, and we will. Anthony Burrows with Ian Smith lead the field down into turn number 1. We see the 99 of Nicholas Short dive down to the inside here. He already jumps down in underneath. Looks like John Furness there, who's showing as the 28 Haviland machine, but he is actually going to be the 82 on the racetrack. So we'll see how he slots in. Looks like he will right in front of the Clover machine of Robbie Oddie. As we bring up our ticker here so you can follow along with your favorite driver. Anthony Burrows out in front. Your points leader already putting a gap between himself and Ian Smith, but just about 2 car lengths right now as the 62 rolls out of the corner. And they are making their way back down the front straightaway once again. Everybody did a pretty good job, but it looks like Jimmy Mullis already looking to the inside of Ian Smith. Not going to make it happen. Big wiggle back there from, looks like, the 52 of Jake Matheson. And we see Matt Kemp now go to the inside of Mark Love. That 43 car dropping backwards. Malik Ray now going to peek to the inside and look to take that position away into turn number 1. Of course, Malik, a Richmond Raceway esports driver, looking to make his team proud with a victory here tonight, and it would be back-to-back for him in the Valhalla Cup Series as the 42 of Dylan Alt now to the inside of Mark Love. And they continue to race it out here. Everybody keeping things straight. The 42 trying to slot up in the line. No room there. The 43 backs out of it. Now Alt will clear him. And here comes Connor Horn right there behind him. Again, showing as the 24, but he is the number 8 on your ticker in that Speedway machine. But Anthony Burrows out in front. And he continues to lead the way here after starting on the pole, but Ian Smith has not gotten too far back in the mirror there. Still about 2 car lengths as he dives it into corner number 1, drifts up the racetrack a little. Jimmy Mullis going to peek down low, and Ian not going to be able to fight him off this time as Mullis takes it down in under him into turn number 3, and he will take the position away as Ian tries to reload here and get settled in line. The number 46 Toyota Camry now moves to the 2nd position. Nicholas Short now working on the back bumper of Ian Smith. So Ian going the wrong way here in the early running. As the field's starting to get fairly spread out here. 24 drivers, actually 23 drivers took to the green flag here tonight. Derek Justice in 23rd. He has damage all over that race car. Really not sure what happened to Derek here, but he is last car on the lead lap, about 11.5 seconds back, and continuing to fall. We'll see if he can make up any kind of time here. Of course, aerodynamics not as important at short tracks, but never a good situation to be any kind of a disadvantage. So you can see him struggling with the handling as he's got, I'm sure, aerodynamic issues. In the middle of the pack here, Keith Mayato in the 15th position. He has moved up 1 spot and trying to work on the back bumper of Mark Love. But the 2 V-Speed machines right now 15th and 21st as we see Justin Vitello go way up the racetrack there. And gets back in line, but J-Bo going the wrong direction, 6 spots back from where he started. But trying to fight his way back forward, I'm sure, as we are past lap number 12 now at the front of the pack. It is Anthony Burrows. Jimmy Mullis trying to chase him down, and he is doing so. You can see that 46 car diving it in into turn number 1 there. This is the view out the front of Jimmy Mullis's car, that number 46 Camry, as he hooks that yellow line right up against the sidewalls there. Down into the corner. He's right in the tire tracks of Anthony Burrows. They work their way out in front of Nicholas Short, who hangs on to 3rd for the moment. Ian Smith going the wrong way. He is in 4th now, and the 82 of John Furness there behind him in that Haviland machine. Starting to close in. Briar LaPrade as well, up 2 spots from where he started. As looks like Eric Royce had an issue back here. He is in the 22nd spot. Currently 11 seconds back of your leader. Derek Justice is starting to close in on him. So not sure what happened to Eric here. Welcome Reaper, thanks for tuning in. Also the Weeg and everybody else who's here. Appreciate you guys coming in for the broadcast. Hope you guys are enjoying so far. Right now, Anthony Burrows is your leader. He's your points leader as well, with a 60-point gap over the second place driver, Matt Kemp. And Jimmy Mullis making a return to the series here. He's looking to gain some points positions back. I think he dropped about 5 by not showing up last week. So trying to get something done here, get another victory. He has 2 on the season. Anthony Burrows with just 1. This battle is pretty hot and heavy. Diving down into turn number 1. John Furness still on the back bumper of Ian Smith. They head down into turn number 3 here. 3 and 4, and then Jimmy Mullis peeking to the inside. He is caught up to Anthony Burrows, and they battle it out for the lead here. The 62 up high, trying to hang on to it, and he will for the moment, but Mullis dives it down in there right up against that yellow line. The 62 pinching him down just a little bit, but it's so hard to run side by side around here. Somebody usually has to give. The 46 working that low line to perfection, but the 62 really hooking the outside lane, and he is hanging on to it. Great racing at the front. Mullis with the advantage. He's going to start sliding up the racetrack. The 62 able to lead the lap once again. Not sure Jimmy has gotten the nose out in front at the line yet, but he has the lead for the moment. But they are pretty much dead even. And Anthony going to try and work that high line and try and pinch that 46 down there. And Jimmy's going to try and get the run on turn entry so he can clear him, but currently doesn't have that speed in the entry or center of the corner that he needs to get it done. And Anthony doing a great job up high. There goes Jimmy with the dive down into turn 3, and this might be enough. But Burrows powering back around the outside, and they continue to race it out. Just 23 laps into it, and Nicholas Short, loving what he's seeing. He's starting to reel them in. Ian Smith as well as John Furness all starting to close back in as those two duke it out here for the top spot. And Anthony really pushing that car on that high line, and he's got to be careful because that wall out of turn number 4 closes in quickly, and it looks like Justin Botello takes it behind the wall here, and he will call it a night early. Dylan Parker battling it out with the 43 of Mark Love, who has gone backwards, and Dylan looking for another strong run here after his victory a few weeks ago at Daytona. An incredible finish, 3 drivers all within 7 1/1000. Oh, as he gives a shove there to the 43, Mark Love drifting it into turn number 1. He's trying to hang on to it, drifts up into the outside wall, and he will bring it to a stop here. And caution is going to fly. We saw it happen on our screen. And Mark Love caught up with Dylan Parker down into turn number 1. Let's take a look a little bit more closely. So Mark Love gets the shove from the 25, and he is almost able to hang on to it, pulls up out of the way. Chris Samard noses into the outside wall. And let's go on board with him there and see what he was working with the steering wheel. Dylan Parker just dove it in there too hard. He's able to slip past, but Mark Love unable to keep that nose out of the wall as he brings it down the pit lane along with the rest of the field. And that is what has brought out caution number 1. Just over an 1/8 of the way through the event already. They knocked out a nice little run there. Anthony Burrows at the front at the end of pit lane. Looks like Dylan Parker missed his box. He did not get to stop there. Anthony Burrows going to win the battle off. Looks like Jimmy Mullis second. Ian Smith third. Nicholas Short fourth. And John Furness going to be the first 5 out of the pit lane. And Dylan Parker most likely going to bring it back down onto the pit road here. Get service on that vehicle. He will. Maybe get a little patchwork done on the right front fender. and he will go to the tail end of the longest line. Actually misses his box there, but he's got plenty of time to get work performed on that race car. And under caution number 1, we're going to cut to commercial break. We'll be right back with the green flag.
At Crockett Creek Beef Jerky, we don't have fancy Madison Avenue advertising. We don't have famous Hollywood endorsements. We don't have mythical creatures as mascots. See, here at Crockett Creek, we're proud of what we don't have. No artificial preservatives or chemicals, gluten-free, and no added MSG. Just all natural, small batch protein made in the foothills of the Smoky Mountains. Enjoy Crockett Creek Jerky, from our backyard to yours.
And back to the racetrack now. It looks like Anthony Burrows going to lead the field here as they work under the final pace lap here for the first caution. We had a great battle brewing between Mullis and Burrows at the front of the field. We had some other battles a little bit farther back. We want to thank R13AH as well as Speedy 12 Driver for the follows. Thank you guys so much. And we just got to 250 followers, so thanks for getting us there. Appreciate that so much. Pace car takes it down the pit lane, and Anthony Burrows is going to get him going here. Jimmy Mullis on the outside, unable to time the restart, and Ian Smith going to be down on his inside going into turn number 1. Jimmy going to try and wind that car up on the outside, and Ian right there to his inside, unable to get the run. They will remain side by side, but Jimmy now clears him going into turn number 3. We've got 3 wide. Nicholas Short was in the middle temporarily. And now Briar LaPrade coming to the outside of John Furness. Briar trying to find his way into the top 5. As they swap lines now, Furness down low. Has to check up a little bit for the 99. And they are stacked up here about 2 wide. Oh, the 13 of Rajat Karuth. Very sideways on turn entry. Malik Ray's going to jump up to the outside after seeing that. And he's going to see if he can follow Connor Horn around. But Rajat trying to regain control of that race car. He's still battling it out for the 8th and 9th position with Connor Horn. Connor can't quite drop in line yet. Now he clears him, but still right in that outside line. It's great racing here. The 52, Jake Matheson up on the outside. Oh, the 28 or the 82 of John Furness going around. No caution yet. Now the caution flies. And John Furness looping it on the back straightaway. I don't believe anyone made contact. And that's going to help out Dylan Parker. He'll be able to rejoin the rest of the field. But let's take a look at what happened to John here. It looks like coming out of the corner, he just got sideways. Back end steps out. And Briar LaPrade able to stay off of him. What a great job by Briar there in the number 18 machine. Showing as the 19 on the racetrack here, so gonna have to figure out why the numbers aren't showing correctly for these guys. But let's go to his nose cam and see how close that was. You just see John start to get a little bit loose there. Almost able to hang on to it, and I don't think he made contact with the walls, so Briar doing an excellent job of keeping the nose off that race car. And quite a few drivers do bring it down the pit lane. but the top 7 are going to remain on the racetrack. Jimmy Mullis was able to capture the lead now. Anthony Burrows brings it down the pit lane after just 8 or 9 laps there under green. So we'll see how things work out for him. I'm not sure if we're going to be going green just yet. Pace car lights are still on. Let's hear a word from another one of our sponsors, and we'll be back with the green flag.
With the ButtKicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. ButtKicker, the future is feeling.
Okay, we're going to keep this quick.
Because at Blaze Pizza,
artisanal quality at crazy fast speed is what we're all about.
Fresh dough made from scratch daily.
Walk the line and choose any toppings you'd like.
It's all one price.
Then it's just 180 seconds in our blazing hot oven
For fast fire perfection.
That's Blaze Pizza. Sound good?
Then come check us out and build your own pizza at Blaze Pizza.
Back at the racetrack now. We're trying to figure out what's going on with the paint schemes here, but everything seems to be loading back in nicely, and we're going to be going green this time around. We are 2 cautions into it, just about 40 laps under completion here. We've had 3 lead changes now, and Jimmy Mullis leads the field to this restart, the first new leader we've had other than Anthony Burrows, and he gets him going. Green flag in the air once again. And we're underway at Richmond Raceway, and Jimmy Mullis with a huge restart, and he's got to get out there as he knows cars with brand new Goodyear Eagles back here behind him trying to chase him down. And Anthony Burrows leading the way for the drivers that stopped. He's currently in that 7th position, trying to find his way back to the front here, working behind Kirk Marble and on the outside of Rajat Karuth, the 13 machine down there. And he's led 33 laps, brushes the wall just a bit right there. And he has a hard-charging Jake Matheson right there behind him as well, but currently boxed in that 7th spot, and they are stacking it up a bit farther back here. Ian Smith up high. It looks like the 42 down low. Oh, almost contact between himself and the 36 of Keith Mayato. Zach Nichols trying to find his way through. They go 3 wide into the corner here. The 13 of Caruth down low. And Nichols finding his way through behind Malik Ray. That's going to knock the 13 now to the 10th spot. Ian Smith looks to take over 10th. As this is some intense battling. Meanwhile, Jimmy Mullis has about a 3 or 4 car length lead over Connor Horn. Headed down through 3 and 4. That gap actually growing now 5/10 between the two. And we don't have any stages here, and nothing to really reset the deck. So if we get a long green flag run, it is going to come down to how you save the tires. As Matt Kemp battling on the outside, your 2nd place in points, back here in 15th, and he's one of those drivers that we've seen capture good finishes even if the performance throughout the race has not been there. as he works to the outside of Dylan Alt, trying to capture 14th away. And a mixture of old tires and new tires throughout the field here. Anthony Burrows first on new tires as he's still behind Kirk Marble in that 61 Scooby-Doo machine. And now looks to the inside of the 61. Burrows trying to take the 5th position away and make his bid back towards the front of the field after leading the whole opening portion of this event. Jimmy Mullis able to continue to stretch that gap now almost 0.6 of a second. But Connor Horn, who's been runner-up and second fiddle so many times this season, looking to try and reel him back in. And Connor has been a very strong runner each and every week. Let's see if we can get a little info on his performance so far this season. He comes in here 4th in points, and he has 1 pole on the season in his 8 starts here, 3 top 5s, 6 top 10s with an average finish of 7.6. So really been strong this season. And we've gotten to talk to him quite a few times throughout the season, as the 61 of Kirk Marble now losing some ground to Jake Matheson, who works to his inside, and Zach Nichols right there on the back bumper trying to find his way around. And Zach started up inside the top 5, I believe. Or no, he started at the back. I thought he had qualified, but was one of the fastest in the practice session. Was up in the top 5 for the practice session, so started back in 17th. He is making his way forward and now looks to the inside of Jake Matheson, really dives it in there. And the 52 not giving him a ton of room to work with, but 44 able to keep it wound up down low, and they will stay alongside down into turn number 3. A lot of great racing here at this short track. It's a track that I have been able to attend a couple times in person, and definitely a great facility. I actually got to run around here in the NASCAR Racing Experience, and we have a video over on YouTube with a review of that experience and some video clips from that, so you can check that out on our YouTube channel. But definitely a great facility, and I look forward to attending more races here in the future. Might even consider doing something this season, as it is Jimmy Johnson's last season. Probably going to be a pretty cool tour as they are going to highlight that. But this is the biggest battle on track right now. Kirk Marble, Jake Matheson continuing to fight for 6th and 7th position. Zach Nichols, Malik Ray right there in their tire tracks. Wow, what a save. Oh, Zach trying to hang on to it. Zach Nichols, what a save there. Let's go take a look. He was fighting that car out of turn number 2. Not sure if he got a tap from Malik. Doesn't look like it, just kind of a little too hard on the throttle. Had it straightened out and kind of hooked around on him again. He was able to hang on to it. He drops to 10th position. But it's better than having a wrecked race car, that's for sure. Malik Ray will move up to the 8th spot and put pressure on Kirk Marble and Jake Matheson, as he cuts now down to the inside to try and get a run on Marble. Matheson almost able to complete the pass, but still side by side, and the 61 with a big run on the outside here. Oh, really sideways though was the 61. Matheson dives it into corner number 1 here, and he's probably going to be able to take it away. Looks like he does make the pass, and he'll slide up in front of Kirk Marble. That'll open the door for Malik Ray to peek down low as he bombs it into the corner there to get alongside, and trying to carry as much speed as he can out of turn number 4. And he will stay alongside. They continue to fight it out. Anthony Burrows, however, has climbed back to the 3rd position, about 1.6 seconds behind your leader, Jimmy Mullis, and Connor Horn right there in the 2nd spot. He is hanging on to that position, as it looks like Malik Ray still unable to complete that pass, and they are fighting it out big time back here for 7th and 8th. Malik charging forward. And Malik started back in 15th. He's up to 7th now, so of course making his way forward like he likes to do each and every week. Derek Justice back here in the 14th position. He has gotten some of the damage repaired, but still has quite a bit of sheet metal to knock back out on the right front fender there and all along the right side, but he is still up 5 positions from where he started, so gonna keep fighting here as we're about a third of the way through the event. Keith Mayato up here in the 12th position, trying to chase down Rajat Karuth. Keith is up 4 spots from where he started. Chris Samard, the other V-Speed driver here, he is 8 positions up in the 16th spot and trying to fight his way forward. Talked with those guys quite a bit in the practice session, and it seemed like the car was just a handful, especially on corner exit, and that's what we saw in our first caution. Really our first 2 cautions were a result of spinning on the exit of the corner. As Jake Matheson, after getting by Kirk Marble, has escaped, and now the 61 really slid way up the racetrack there in turn 1. He's going to lose a handful of positions. Zach Nichols, Ian Smith, and Malik Ray all going to be able to drive right on around, and he will drop to the 10th position. As Rajat Karuth peaks down low, he will get there and really slide it into corner number 1. 13 down low, bit sideways out of 2. And this is for the top 10 position. Back here, Keith Mayato, Dylan Alt battling it out for 12th and 13th. Looks like Keith is just going to give it to him. The 42 really throws it into the corner. And now Derek Justice right on the back bumper. But they go single file for the moment. As Rajah looks like he was a bit sideways on turn entry, able to collect himself and really get a great run out of the turn. Now Mayato back to the inside of Dylan Alt. But unable to make it work. Here comes Derek Justice now around the outside. And that's a good battle for the 13th and 14th positions. Kirk Marble continuing to drop now back to 12th as Dylan Alt makes his way around the outside. And everybody doing a great job of staying off each other. Keith Mayato with a big slide out of turn number 4. He will drop to 14th position, and that allows Derek Justice back up into 13th. Meanwhile, Jimmy Mullis out in front of Anthony Burrows, who has made his way around Connor Horn. Just about 1.7 seconds back of Mullis. And on fresher tires, we'll see if he has anything to chase him down. We saw Jimmy was a bit faster on the long run in the early going here. As Jake Matheson looking to the inside of Nicholas Short. And they fight it out for 4th and 5th. Oh, the 19 sideways. He's going to get into Jake. They slide down the racetrack. Caution's going to fly. And that is going to involve both Jake Matheson and Nicholas Short. Let's bring out another yellow flag here. They were really fighting for it. Nicholas Short up on the high line, gets sideways out of turn number 4. Let's take a closer look at this. Back end just steps out a little bit. He tries to correct, overcorrects, and bounces off of Jake's race car there, the 52 machine, and they both slide down towards the inside wall. Looks like that was a close call for John Furness. Oh, he went sliding by himself as well. Just gets sideways there, and wow, trying to save it. He was headed straight for them through the grass, and he's able to just barely escape around. Able to woe that thing down. Good save by John to keep it out of the the wreck that had already happened there. And those drivers are all going to bring it down the pit lane along with our leaders. And Anthony Burrows looks like he will win the battle off Jimmy Mullis. Not sure if he's getting damage repaired or what the scenario is here, but he has not exited the pit lane, maybe got speeding. As now he pulls off the pit lane, a 28.5 second stop. We can only guess that that was indeed a speeding penalty. So Jimmy Mullis goes from the lead now back to 15th position, 14th, as things are going to cycle out. So not what Jimmy was looking for here. As Anthony Burrows regains the lead here. This is caution number 3. We've had 4 lead changes, all of them between Anthony Burrows and Jimmy Mullis. And Anthony has led a good 35 laps here, so about half the race. Jimmy Mullis has led the other half. And we've had a couple nice green flag runs here to this point in the race. And been a fun event so far. We are getting close to halfway, so really knocking the laps out here in race number 10 of the NorseForce Valhalla Cup Series. And if you're just joining us here, this is the Richmond Raceway 150 presented by Blaze Pizza, ButtKicker, Next Level Racing, and Crockett Creek Beef Jerky, our usual sponsors here. I want to thank all of them for joining on here and providing their support to the NorseForce Valhalla Cup Series. As the pace car lights are off, Anthony Burrows is going to be the one to lead them back to the green flag here. And working out of turn number 4, it's going to be Anthony Burrows, Connor Horn, your front row. Malik Ray has made it up to the 3rd position, and green flag back in the air. Lap number 76 goes up on the board, and Anthony Burrows gets a good run into the corner. Connor Horn stacks him up there. Malik Ray right on his back bumper. He's trying to get control of his race car as he fights it out side by side with Briar LaPrade. LaPrade going to win the battle for the moment, but Malik charges back underneath, and they go side by side down into the front straightaway here across the start finish line. LaPrade with the advantage, but Malik Ray not giving up down low. Both of these drivers extremely aggressive. The 19 with a bit of a slide there, and Malik Ray gonna slot in line in 4th right now. Ian Smith in the 5th position, and Rajat Karuth, Derek Justice fighting it out side by side. These two familiar with each other, and both of them with some damage. The 13 really pinching him down here and not giving a heck of a lot of room as, contact out of the corner. Derek Justice, who has recovered nicely, is trying to work down low. 13 not giving him the space to do so. As Derek, a little wiggle out of turn 4, that's going to be enough for Rajat to take the position, but dives it back into the corner here, able to keep it off the side of the 13. But he's going to lose the position. Kirk Marble now jumps to the outside. They will fight it out for 7th and 8th. At the front, though, Anthony Burrows leading the way. Jimmy Mullis has only moved up to the 9th position and is currently over 2 seconds back now. Jumps to 8th as we have a stack up behind Kirk Marble, who slides to the apron there. He's going to be able to hang on to the race car. Let's see what happened here. as we've got some crazy battling. Jake Matheson behind Dylan Alt. They were 3 wide there. Maybe a little contact between the 61 and the 31. And now it just looks like the 61 went around on his own, and we have a caution on the speedway. Kirk Marble, he is in trouble here with damage on the race car, so goes from being at the front of all of that now to the receiving end. So take a look at what happened here. I think kind of the same thing happened to him. Headed down into turn number 1, just sideways on turn entry as he was right there with the 2 V-Speed machines. Oh, Chris Samard kind of dropped down in line. Looks like the 42 of Dylan Alt gives him a little tap here. Keith Mayato trying to stay off of him. Looks like he does. And the 72 of Eric Royce, the 99 of Nicholas Short, able to scatter there and make their way underneath Kirk, as that brings out caution number 4. Nicholas Short going to get a lap back here. He'll actually get back onto the lead lap. So all drivers on the racetrack are on the lead lap. Only 3 drivers have taken it behind the wall, being Matt Kemp, Justin Botello, and Josh Lambert. And Lambert actually did not take the green flag tonight, so just Matt Kemp and Botello. Kemp coming in second in the points standings. So he is going to lose some ground here. And Malik Ray is going to take the lead here. He did stop. Looks like a 12.6 second stop. Not sure if that was 2 tires or 4 tires, but by far and away the fastest pit stop on the pit lane. So I'm going to guess that Malik took 2 tires, and he takes over the top spot. Nicholas Short, not sure what he's doing here. I'm thinking he's going to have to drop to the tail end of the field, or if he's just trying to get some damage repaired, maybe just trying to catch back up as much as he can before he brings it down the pit lane. Kind of bizarre looking there as he now brings it down pit lane, and Malik Ray will take over your top spot. Pace car lights are still on. Let's see if we can get a word in with one of these drivers before they go green here. Let's see if we can get a word in with Mr. Rajat Karuth real quickly. Rajat Karuth, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy. What's up?
Well, I just want to get a quick word with you here, ask a couple questions, how the car is doing out here tonight at Richmond. I think this is your first start in the series, so what are your thoughts on the racing here tonight?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. This is a very fun series. First time out here. A stacked field of drivers. There's a lot of guys in here that are very good and run very clean, so it's cool to be running with these guys.
Yeah, and you come in here with experience in the E-Ignite series as well as you know, some real world racing experience. But I've seen you have a couple issues. A lot of drivers having issues with the handling out of the corner. Is there anything you're doing to try and overcome that here tonight?
I'm just trying to let it wait a little bit, to let it rotate a little bit more, because it's just really a push loose. It's got a lot of wheel in it, so it's gonna snap out. That's really it. You can't really do so much with fixed sets here.
Yeah, 10-4 on that. Well, looks like you're going green, so good luck with the rest of the race, and hopefully we talk to you at the end.
Yeah, 10-4, thank you.
little technical difficulty here trying to get off of Rajah's car here, but we are back under green. As you can see, the field working their way here on lap number 89. Rajah looking in the middle here between Chris Samard and the 43 of Mark Love. And there we go. We go back to the front. Malik Ray is leading the pack, so 62 of Anthony Burrows has reeled him back in though, and those two are fighting it out for that top spot. Briar LaPrade has moved to third. He fights it out side by side with Connor Horn, so those two going head to head at the moment. Approaching halfway, LaPrade able to take the spot, but the crossover move from Connor Horn, he gets the nose down in there, and Briar gives him the space, but not a lot to work with. Now Connor very sideways out of the corner, able to hang on to it, and he won't even lose a spot. Jimmy Mullis peeks to the inside now, though. That lost momentum might come back to bite him here. Mullis unable to make the pass, and Connor going to try and dive it down into the corner. But the 46 of Jimmy Mullis continuing to climb back forward after the speeding penalty there on pit lane put him behind. He is now inside the top 5 and looking for more from Connor Horn, who rides up on the outside of him here. A very similar scenario as to what we saw with Anthony Burrows and Jimmy Mullis. It's so hard to make that pass down low. The 24 into the wall though. So Connor Horn going to lose some ground. That's going to give up some space to Jimmy Mullis, and Derek Justice must have had an issue as well, as he lost some ground to those two fighting it out. And a lot of drivers looking like they're very sideways right now. But apologize for the technical issue there after interviewing Rajah Karuth. We heard the interview there. Not a whole lot you can do with these fixed setups, so just trying to find a way around the racetrack to not upset the tires or overheat them. And Malik Ray out here continuing to show the way. Anthony Burrows, Briar LaFrade right there behind him. And Jimmy Mullis has now started to close in that 4th position. Caution going to fly once again. The 28 of Ian Smith going around here. Let's see what happened to Ian to bring out this caution. So Ian Smith racing it out with Kirk Marble here. It looks like he just gets loose down low in front of the 13, and Rajah making a great evasive maneuver there. Let's go to the nose cam, and he was able to stay just out of the back bumper, so great job. Ian hangs onto it here out of the corner. He doesn't make contact with anything, so excellent job to keep the fenders on that thing. And he will drop to the tail end of the line now in 20th position and get a brand new set of Goodyear Eagles on that race car. And the entire field is going to come down the pit lane. Anthony Burrows will take him down to the end here. And we'll see if anybody pulls a 2-tire strategy. It wasn't a real long run, but probably about 10 laps, as we are just about halfway. Malik Ray making his way off the pit lane, and Anthony Burrows looks like he will win the battle. As he does, Malik Ray going to go to 2nd, and Briar LaPrade going to be in 3rd, Jimmy Mullis 4th, Dylan Alt in 5th. Zach Nichols has climbed back up to the 6th position, so the Crockett Creek Beef Jerky machine looking pretty fast here in this first half of the race. We saw him up in about 7th and then lost a few positions. Now back up to 6th here, so keep an eye on that 44. He's been strong here the last few weeks, and definitely one of our top runners here. So 3 top 10s in his last 3 races, including a runner-up finish, so very strong. And he actually was the pole sitter at Darlington and led the first 32 laps of that race with the car way out front, and had an issue. I think he had a black screen issue, so Actually ended up losing all his track position and wasn't able to recover from that. But let's hear a quick word from a couple of our sponsors. We'll be right back with the green flag. And back at the racetrack now, the field working down into turn number 1. We'll be going green next time by. To recap, we've had 5 cautions now just at the halfway point. 6 lead changes at this point in the race between, I believe, 3 drivers, being Malik Ray, Jimmy Mullis, and Anthony Burrows. And currently Burrows is your leader, so he's led 47 out of the 100 that have been run here, and he's looking to try and capture most laps led and another victory if he can this season. Pace car down pit road now. He gets him going, stacks him up on the inside line. Huge stack up, but Malik Ray with a great jump. He's going to be right alongside Anthony Burrows as they head down into turn 1. Really an incredible jump, honestly. Can't believe he was able to stay alongside. Now a little wiggle out of turn 2. That's going to allow Burrows to get the advantage. Jimmy Mullis going to jump to 3rd around Briar LaPrade. So Jimmy Mullis on the charge, now going to the inside of Malik Ray. Malik's going to give the position to him, and he'll fight it out with Briar LaPrade. Zach Nichols fighting it out side by side with Dylan Alt. And we might have had an issue on the back straightaway between Nick Holslander and Chris Samard. Oh, Samard's car absolutely destroyed. No front end on that race car. And he's going to bring it to the pit lane. Try and get that fixed back up, but that car absolutely toasted. And he will park it in his pit lane with the V-Speed crew and see if they can get something fixed on there. Maybe get the front end back on. But he is no doubt going to go many laps down. Currently in the 20th position. Anthony Burrows, though, leading the field. Jimmy Mullis in 2nd. These two fought it out early, and now that battle starting to heat back up again. Mullis has about 4/10 to go to catch up to the 62 machine. And Malik Ray has cleared himself in front of Briar LaPrade. Zach Nichols into the wall just a little there. He holds down this 5th position at the moment. And we've got 3 wide battling. Dylan Parker up high, Jake Matheson down low. Rajat Karuth in the middle. Looks like Keith Mayato almost 3 wide there with Derek Justice and Dylan Parker. And Dylan looks like he is going backwards. Not sure what's going on with the 25 car, but definitely not going in the right direction. As now Keith Mayato moves to the 9th spot. 31 down low here underneath the 25. He looks to try and find his way around, but Keith Mayato going to throw the block. Oh, the 13 bouncing off the wall. He is able to hang on to it and hang on his 7th spot as well. So everybody here fighting it out for everything that they've got as the top 5 have broken away. Zach Nichols here. We'll take a look from the Crockett Creek cam. In the 5th position, up from 17th. He is on a charge here, and like I said, 3 top 10s in his last 3 races, with a runner-up 3 weeks ago. So Zach has been very strong. Was pole sitter last week and trying to close out the deal today. He couldn't last week, but He rides right now behind Briar LaPrade. Malik Ray there in third, drifts up the racetrack just a little bit. And not going to lose the spot just yet, but here goes LaPrade down to the inside. Sticks the nose way down in there, unable to get the run out of the corner. Malik's going to be able to hang on to third. And his car looks pretty good to this point. I don't see any damage on it. As we've got battling, continuing to go on back here. The 25, the 31 side by side, just in the inside of the top 10. Looks like Connor Horn tagged the wall there along with Ian Smith. They are just outside the top 10. Connor Horn was up there battling for runner-up at one point, so he is going the wrong direction. Maybe a bad pit stop. It looks like, yeah, that may be the case. But he's trying to fight his way back forward now, trying to get to the outside of Derek Justice, but unable to do so as Derek nearly making contact with Dylan Parker. And they are all nose to tail now. But Derek drifts up the racetrack. Here comes Horn down to the inside, unable to make the move. Derek able to get the run up high. And he is right on the back bumper of Dylan Parker. Big shove there into turn 3. 25 up the racetrack. Here goes Derek Justice to make the move down low. He'll swing it down there. Try and make that pass out of turn 2. Unable to do so. Dylan Parker fights him off. But it looks like these cars are pretty twitchy here tonight. Not sure what's going on exactly with the setup to do that. So a little bit of contact. Derek Justice able to hang on to it. Down into turn number 1 they go. Dylan Parker continues to ride in that 9th spot, but he's got a long train of race cars behind him. And Derek Justice trying to find a way around. He has been pretty forgiving to this point, but his patience might start to wear here as Connor Horn now with a great run. He's going to look to the back bumper of Derek Justice. They're going to have to find some way around. They are losing a lot of time now, as up in front Jake Matheson and Rajak Ruth have pulled away by quite a good margin here. And Jimmy Mullis continues, or actually takes over the lead away from Anthony Burrows, so he was able to steal that away. And they now approach Nicholas Short, who's going to go, looks like a lap down here. The top 2 will easily make their way past, but now it's on Anthony Burrows to try and chase him down. As it looks like Zach Nichols was able to make it around Malik Ray, so that 44 on a charge here. He has to be the biggest mover here in this race. Kirk Marble, Chris Smart continue to sit on the pit lane. They are the only 2 drivers other than Nicholas Short that are still in the race off the lead lap, and the rest of the field being the top 18 all on the lead lap. John Furness makes his way around Nicholas Short. He rides in 6th at the moment, and he's been up here inside the top 10 for the majority of the race. We saw an issue on the back straightaway for him, but able to make it back up through the pack and fighting for a top 5 here at this point. Rajak Ruth right where he started in 7th. Jake Matheson here in 8th, but he started back in 11th, so has moved forward just a bit in this race. And he has been right at the heart of the action all evening. Dylan Parker continues to hang on to 9th over Derek Justice, and Derek started off rough here with damage in the first 5 laps, and he's been trying to recover ever since. But now putting the move on Dylan Parker, goes to the inside down the front straightaway. And this is for 9th and 10th. He's going to swing it way down low here. 25 trying to power around the outside. He will do so, but nose to nose down into turn 3. Derek trying to hook that yellow line, but it is not working for him at the moment. Car seems like it pushes just a bit too much on the center of the corner. As now he dives it down in there once again. The 25 with the advantage on the exit of turn 2, and Derek fall back behind. So really going to take a mistake to pass someone here. Looks like the cars Just so close and so tight as Derek Justice making a mistake there. Connor Horn peeks to the outside. And the 8 car or the 24, gonna try and make his way past Derek here. And he will do so. That'll move Derek Justice back to 11th. Connor Horn up into the 8th position as Ian Smith now sets his sights on the 31. Keith Maato right there as well, just outside the top 10. And Matheson trying to reel in that number 13. He is starting to close the gap now, just about 2 car lengths. And John Furness right up there as well. John hasn't, I believe he may have started last week at Darlington. He did, but his last race before that was at Indianapolis about 3 or 4 weeks prior. So he has had some strong runs here with podium finish at Martinsville. So obviously pretty good at the short tracks, but has not had the results in most of his other races. I'm sure his performance would have suggested. But a good run to this point in that 6th position, and he's been up here all day, so we'll see if he can finish this thing out now as we are well past the halfway point. If you haven't already cheered on your favorite driver, do so now. Let him know you're here and you're supporting him. As Jimmy Mullis leads the way. Anthony Burrows right there in the 2nd position. Jimmy looking for his 3rd victory of the year, and Anthony would be looking for his 2nd. Briar LaPrade also would be looking for his 2nd. He is in the 3rd position right now. Zach Nichols would be looking for his 1st. And they're all fairly spread out among the top 6 or 7. And then we have quite a stack up back here. Connor Horn, Dylan Parker. Dylan proving to be the Ryan Newman of the bunch here tonight. Very difficult to pass, and Connor Horn unable to make that move work. As they go down into turn number 1 again, the 25 rides up high, and looks like it's just too difficult to make the pass down low. High line does seem to be working as now Connor Horn goes to the outside of Parker. He's going to be able to complete the pass. Dylan Parker with a big slide there opens up the door for Derek Justice. But the 25 able to dive it into the corner and seal off that high line. Now Derek pulls a bit of a crossover out of turn 4. Can he finally complete the pass and get back in the top 10? As he takes it down low. Chris Samard bringing it back on the racetrack. Derek a big wiggle out of turn 2. He's really going to have to power it in here 3 and 4. And he is out in front, the 25, unable to get back around. No, he does get there. And they will remain side by side. Derek Justice just has to be saying, let me go, man. He has been fighting so hard for this spot. These two have not gotten away from each other here for probably about 25 laps. And Derek, big slide into the corner, really threw it in there. But he is just not able to get the run off, and I think he's a little down on straightaway speed with the damage on the race car. So we have been out here almost 40 laps on this set of tires, and Jimmy Mullis starting to set sail now. 1.2 seconds over Anthony Burrows. Once again, we want to thank you for tuning in here. This is V-Speed. We're live tonight on Twitch. We're here multiple times throughout the week, where you can find us here for the NorseForce Valhalla Cup Series as well as the Raider SK Modified Series. You can also find us over on YouTube at V-Speed Media, where we also broadcast occasionally, and you can find race replays as well as other interesting content over there on that channel. So subscribe to us over there if you haven't already. And consider following or subscribing here on Twitch. You can also find us on Facebook where we post race announcements before each and every broadcast, as well as on Instagram and Twitter, where we post the same announcements, as well as new merchandise, special events, and on-site reporting. Jimmy Mullis continues to lead the way, 1.3 seconds the gap over Anthony Burrows, who has about a 1 second gap over third place Briar LaPrade. And they have clearly separated themselves from the rest of the pack. Zach Nichols 1.7 back of LaPrade, and then it's about another 0.6 back to Malik Ray. So top 5 all they're all separated by about 5 seconds. So John Furness another 1.3 back from Malik Ray. Rajak Ruth here holding down 7th, and he is out in front of Jake Matheson, and Connor Horn is starting to reel those two in after he got around Dylan Parker. He was able to drive away. Dylan still holding up. Derek Justice, it looks like Derek maybe cooked the tires trying to get around. He is unable to get back to the bumper. Ian Smith, Keith Mayato, a great battle back here for 12th and 13th. And then Dylan Alt, Robbie Oddie back here, just in front of the severely damaged Chris Samard. And we didn't see what happened to Chris, but he is now scored 30 laps down. Just trying to make up some spots as Mark Love looks to have taken it behind the wall. And Nicholas Short still sitting on pit lane, trying to get damage repaired. Oh, and the 42, Dylan Alt bounces it off the wall. But Jake Matheson, Connor Horn, Rajat Karuth, these three right on top of each other here, 7th, 8th, and 9th. And this is the battle to watch at the moment, the highest ranking battle. That being said, it looks like Zach Nichols, Malik Ray going to swap positions here. Malik goes back to 4th, Zach goes to 5th. And not sure what happened with Zach, but we saw him have an issue earlier. Maybe just a similar issue. You can see him fighting that race car. Let's go on board. Oh my gosh, yeah, that car very, very loose. You can see him fighting it on turn entry and then also turn exit there. He was sideways the whole way out, and looks like Malik Ray feeling a bit smoother right now. The 44 really wheeling that thing to try and make it around, and he is losing time very quickly to your top 3. And Jimmy Mullis now 2 seconds out in front of Anthony Burrows as they are approaching lap 50 on this set of tires. The question is, are they going to be able to make it to the end? It's about a 100-lap run if they do so, and will the tires hold up that long with the way the cars are handling? Will the drivers be able to hang on that long? I think that's the main thing. They are going to be slipping and sliding out here, but a nice long green flag run to this point. And we're going to keep an eye on the racetrack, see if anything happens, but we're going to go to a quick side-by-side so we can hear from our sponsors, and we'll be right back with the racing action.
Okay, we're going to keep this quick.
Because at Blaze Pizza,
artisanal quality at crazy fast speed is what we're all about.
Fresh dough made from scratch daily.
Walk the line and choose any toppings you'd like.
It's all one price.
Then it's just 180 seconds in our blazing hot oven
For fast fire perfection.
That's Blaze Pizza. Sound good?
Then come check us out and build your own pizza at Blaze Pizza.
With the ButtKicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. ButtKicker. The future is feeling.
actually going to break back in now. We have pit stops starting, so basically splitting the run in half. Malik Ray brings it down the pit lane, and might have just been struggling with the race car, but he is going to be first of the drivers to do so. He's going to make his way around Nick Holslander now, that 11 machine, who is well off the pace. We saw an issue for possibly Robbie Adi and a few others who also bring it down the pit lane. We've got Keith Mayato on pit road. Dylan Parker going to bring it down the pit lane. And the question is, when does Jimmy Mullis bring that race car back down to get service and fresh tires? And how much time is he going to lose in the process to drivers like Malik Ray? And is it going to matter with the fresh tires on the backside of things, as Ian Smith on the pit lane right now? And all these drivers are going to be a lap down. Malik Ray currently coming out of turn number 2, whereas your leader, Jimmy Mullis, just now coming out of turn 2. So Malik is about a lap and a half down, if not more. And Ian Smith still sitting on the pit lane, getting service completed on that race car. A long pit stop, it looks like. Actually, not too bad, 14.2. John Furness on the pit lane right now. He's getting service on that race car. Rajat Karuth bringing it down here. And Jimmy Mullis continues to run laps out there. Not sure if he's going to try and stretch it or what the call is here exactly, but as it runs, he's putting down 21.7s. Malik Ray 20.6, so about a second a lap. And that will definitely come back to bite him here, at least on the short term, as he looks like he's a lot slower. The 42 right there, Robbie Adi behind him, who is a lap car. He just is going to drive straight on past, so you can see the difference on those fresh tires. As Dylan Parker also on fresh tires, closing in, trying to unlap himself or put himself back to one lap down. So Mullis continuing to ride out here. 40 laps to go. Malik Ray setting a pretty blistering pace here. 20.7 the last time by. John Furness at 20.5, a little ways behind him. And quite a few drivers in between have not taken down pit lane just yet. So Malik Ray, the one to watch, he is currently the top driver on fresh tires. The question is, can they make it? Trying to see if anybody else brings it down. Jimmy Mullis not bringing it down that time either, so I have a feeling Jimmy's going to either take it as far as he possibly can, hope for a caution, or he is going to try and run this thing to the end. We'll have to see what he does in terms of pace, but right now he is about 1 second a lap slower than drivers on fresh tires. And Anthony Burrows brings it down now, so we'll see where Anthony cycles out, as he would have been second or third. Zach Nichols brings it down. Jimmy Mullis continues to make laps, so that 46 car has all but the top 8, actually top 7, top 6 now on the lead lap. Everybody else a lap down or more. And if something was to happen, something were to happen soon, it could really come back to bite him. But Jimmy very slow in the center of the corner, and that's where everybody's making up their time. Malik Ray that time by 1.1 seconds faster. And just looks like Jimmy crawling around here, but the back end still loose on that race car. And he has got to be careful as he continues to put laps on the tires. It's only going to get more and more difficult. And knowing that all but about 5 cars have made pit stops, he is going to have to make that decision soon if he is not already. Mullis continues to ride. Briar LaPrade in second, about 3.2 seconds back. The only other drivers on the lead lap to not pit would be Derek Justice, 18.5 seconds back, and Eric Royce as well, who's 19 seconds back. Let's go on board with Derek and see what he is doing here. If they're doing any kind of definitely clutching, so could be a close finish here. Jimmy Mullis still running 21.8, Malik Ray up to 21 flats. And the gap to John Furness about 7 seconds. But Malik in the 5th position. And right behind your leader, Jimmy Mullis. So he has tracked him down and trying to unlap himself. It's going to be 30 to go at the line this time. So it could get very, very interesting. Now Malik Ray unlapping himself. He will be the 5th car on the lead lap, last car on the lead lap. Only the top 5. Jimmy Mullis has everybody else lapped. John Furness about 6.5 seconds back as he tries to get back up there on lead lap as well. But Malik only has about 2 seconds to go up to Eric Royce, and about he has quite a ways to go up to Derek Justice, about 15 seconds. Or actually, no, he actually only has about 1 second to get to these two, and he'll be back in the top 3. Derek Justice really well off the pace here. And Eric Royce all over his back bumper. We'll see how much those two are saving as Malik Ray continues to run about 3/4 of a lap faster than your leader. And he is in the catbird seat if they cannot make it on fuel, but now he's boxed in, trying to go 3 wide. He looks 3 wide between Justice and Royce, and he will take it 3 wide. Dives it in the corner. Derek's just going to give him the lane, and now Malik going to just drive on past. He'll move back up to the 3rd position, and he is looking for his 2nd victory in a row. Currently 19.7 seconds off your leader, and last time by only beat the leader by 1/10 of a second, but lap time should pick up pretty significantly here as he has made his way past Anthony Burrows in the 6th position. He is about 3 seconds back, maybe not even that far back of your leader to get back on the lead lap. So Mullis right here, it looks like Anthony Burrows' next car behind him, and Anthony pitted a bit later than Malik. It's about 12 laps difference, but it might be a little bit too late as Malik really flying around here now. Runs at 21.3. Anthony Burrows at 20.7, so 0.6 faster as Anthony goes back onto the lead lap around the outside of your leader, now to the inside of Chris Samard, who is just limping around here, that number 37. Anthony going to go to the inside of Derek Justice. It's basically a sitting duck at this point. And Malik Ray chopping time off lap after lap, that time 0.7 faster. And he has 22 laps to do it. Currently the gap up to Jimmy Mullis. Let's take a look next time by. Just over 17 seconds, so he is closing in. Anthony Burrows about 3.5 seconds back, or about 3 seconds back rather. And only a few drivers on the lead lap. Looks like Derek Justice, the last driver on the lead lap. He is right in front of your leader. There's Connor Horn, who must have had an issue. He is 3 laps down, so potentially speeding penalty or something of that nature. He'll get one of those laps back. Drive right on around. Meanwhile, Briar LaPrade continues to run about 5 seconds back of Jimmy Mullis, and big implications as these guys cannot make it on fuel. Jimmy Mullis looking for win number 3, Briar LaPrade looking for win number 2. And Malik Ray also looking for win 3. Anthony Burrows win 2. And it's probably going to be one of those 4 as things stand, but a caution could change everything. So we got to keep our eyes peeled for that. The gap to Malik Ray now just under 14 seconds. And you can see Anthony Burrows closing in rapidly. That gap just about 1.5 seconds. Anthony continuing to run about a half second a lap faster, so he will be there in no time. And he may have the best chance to make it up to Jimmy Mullis, running about 20.1 there. Jimmy Mullis running Anthony Burrows running a 21 flat, Jimmy Mullis 22.2. So it would be very close. These guys are going to be right there knocking on the door as the white flag waves when we get to the end, but still 15 to go, or 16 to go next time by. And Malik Ray trying to hang on to this spot over Anthony Burrows. Anthony looks to the inside. He is going to be there. He'll make the move down low. This will be for 3rd position. And your points leader trying to capitalize here on fresher tires. Go and track down those top 2. The gap just around 11 seconds with going to be 15 to go next time by. And they will have to gain quite a bit of time. But right now, Anthony Burrows on pace to get up there and catch them. He will have made up over a lap, while Jimmy Mullis, Briar LaPrade will be saving fuel. They run a 22.3 and 22.4. Anthony Burrows a 21.1. Malik Ray a 21.5. So by far and away, your fastest driver on the track, Anthony Burrows, along with Zach Nichols, who pitted around the same lap. They are on the freshest tires. Looks like Derek Justice continues to ride out there. 88 laps on his tires, 90 laps on the tires of the 46 as he lets all these guys back by. Jake Matheson moves back to the lead lap. We'll have to keep an eye out in the background there. Where are Anthony Burrows? Anthony Burrows now closing in on Briar LaPrade. The gap just 2 seconds up to Briar. And he continues to run over a second a lap faster. It will be enough if he can continue on this pace. And if Jimmy Mullis cannot go any faster than he is. And I'm not even sure they can make it in general. It'll be over 100 laps for those guys. And I'm sure they were expecting a caution to break things up. But right now, Anthony Burrows closing in. He's going to jump to the outside of Briar LaPrade. Briar not going to let him get right by as now Anthony goes down low. He gets a big run out of turn 2. And Briar can't push that race car. But he can hold up the 62, and he did there for a moment. And we'll see what kind of lap time. Yeah, that held up Anthony by about 7/10. He's still closed on Jimmy Mullis, and the gap just 5.2 seconds. That 62 charging hard. Jimmy Mullis has to restrain himself. He knows he can't push the race car, even though that 62 is approaching rapidly. And we'll see if we can even see him there. He comes out of turn 2, just a straightaway between them. And Mullis now starting to put the pedal down, and he got back around Derek Justice. Now running 22.1s. Anthony Burrows this time by a 21.3, so about 0.8 the difference, and it is going to be extremely close. Jimmy Mullis looking for win number 3. That 46 Toyota Camry, I'm not sure he's going to have enough. Anthony Burrows closing faster and faster every lap. 0.8 again knocked out of that lead. Down to 2.7. They'll be coming to 6 to go this time by. Jimmy Mullis on the apron. He's going to bring it to pit lane. Jimmy Mullis surrenders the lead. Anthony Burrows will take over the top spot. They couldn't make it. Briar LaPrade continues to ride out there, but can he make it? Can Derek Justice make it? Justice now at 96 laps on the fuel and tires. And he'll try and make up a spot. Jimmy Mullis not going to get the finish that he deserves here tonight, but strategy not playing out. Anthony Burrows in that top spot, one of the fastest on the racetrack, and he has 3.5 seconds back to Malik Ray. Four to go this time by. It looks like it's all in the hands of Anthony Burrows, barring a caution or anything extreme happening here. And Malik Ray too far back to make anything happen. It's 3.4 seconds. John Furness third, 6 seconds back. And those top 5 all pretty evenly spaced out. And just 3 laps to go. Anthony Burrows looking well on his way to win number 2 of the season. His last one coming at Atlanta, but he is your points leader coming into the race tonight, and looking to only extend that gap. He has finished so strongly every week with top 5s in every race except for one, being a 6th place finish. And only one more lap to go as he makes it through turns 3 and 4. Across the start finish line, white flag in the air. Anthony Burrows looking like he is on his way to a victory. Unless anything extreme happens, Malik Ray most likely going to finish in the 2nd position. John Furness back here in 3rd. No challenge from Zach Nichols at the moment. As Jimmy Mullis makes it out on track, he's in 15th. Anthony Burrows going to win at Richmond Raceway. Race number 10 of the NorseForce Valhalla Cup Series goes to Anthony Burrows, who charged from over a lap down to reclaim the lead from Jimmy Mullis, who couldn't make it on fuel. Burrows leads 68 laps here. It's not going to be the most, but it will be a good chunk after starting on the pole. He is going to be your winner here tonight. Great victory by the driver of the number 62. As he tears it down here. Congratulations to Anthony Burrows. Let's see if we can get a word in with him here straight away and jump into our top 3 interviews. We'll see if we can find these guys in the radio channel. And it looks like we do have Anthony in here. So, Anthony Burrows, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Anthony, you finally get another one here, and that was a nail-biter for sure. You were really closing in on Jimmy there. Did you think he was going to be able to squeeze the fuel out of it or be able to hang on to it?
Yeah, I thought him and Briar were both going to stretch it all the way. That's what it looked like they were doing. I guess they just were a little bit too short and didn't want to risk. But yeah, I didn't think that strategy call would work. I was actually thinking about running it out to the end without pitting. But a couple of guys were saying they're pitting, and I kind of just decided to come down. I didn't think I'd win it, just trying to stretch it. I knew Jimmy was way quicker, so yeah, in the end that worked out a lot better than I expected. So yeah, happy with that one.
Yeah, you come back from over a lap down and unlap yourself. You know, to catch back up like that is a huge statement. Obviously, the car very quick. You sat on the pole here tonight, and it was really down to you and Jimmy the entire race. He seemed to be a bit better on the long run, but you were pretty good on those first 10 to 15 laps. But you know, what was it about the setup here tonight that made it difficult to drive, especially on the long run?
Not sure. I think it's really just about saving tires, and this track really isn't too easy for saving tires. I think Jimmy was just doing a way better job of it than I was. He was a lot quicker just overall. But yeah, first couple laps, I think I had something for him, but after that, he was just gone. He would just run off for me. But yeah, biggest thing was saving tires tonight, and Jimmy definitely did the best at doing that.
Yeah, and you didn't do too bad yourself. I mean, you kept him within, shouting distance the whole race. Really the only driver to do so. And, it eventually paid off for you with the strategy. It was a ton of fun watching you come up through the field and you capture your second victory of the season. But you come in the points leader and only going to expand your points lead, and it's going to be a huge margin moving forward to next week at the Roval. So what are your thoughts on going out there?
I'm really excited for the Roval. I'm a big fan of these cars on the road courses, especially the Roval. It's always a super fun track. So might be a bit chaotic there, but I don't know. But yeah, definitely looking forward to that one. That's gonna be a ton.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a blast to watch you guys run out there, and it was a pretty solid race tonight. Not too many cautions, so good to see a good sized field, and you continue these runs of finishes, so you're gonna expand on that points lead, and another great showing for you here tonight. But anybody you want to give a shout out to for tonight's victory?
Yeah, shout out to Jimmy, Malik, Breyer, everyone at the front. They're all racing very. Shout out to you for putting the broadcast on, as always. Shout out to my team, High Performance Motorsports, and yeah, thank everyone else for watching.
Awesome, Anthony. Well, congrats on the second victory of the season. You started on the pole. You take it away in those last few laps in dramatic fashion, and you come out on top. So go celebrate, and we'll see you next week at the Roval.
All right, thank you.
That was your winner here tonight, Anthony Burrows. Let's go to second place finisher Malik Ray. See if we can bring him in here. Malik Ray, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, man. How you doing?
Pretty good, and quite a race out there tonight. You came from 15th up to leading at one point, and kind of a bold strategy there to try and undercut Anthony, and also just play a different strategy than Jimmy there. So, what was your thought on the decision there, and when did you realize you weren't going to be able to make it on fuel?
I knew when the caution came out that, like, with all of us pitting exactly at halfway, that you can't really like run a whole tank. Well, I mean you can, but I mean it's a lot slower, like versus if you pit at halfway. Whenever I noticed that, I figured that if it was green up until lap like 150, then I was gonna pit at halfway and just hope that we didn't get a yellow.
Yeah, and it almost worked out for you there. I mean, I think about 10 or 15 to go, you were still out in front of Anthony Burrows, but he had pitted, quite a bit later, had fresher tires, so he looked like he was able to catch up and drive on past. But you worked your way through traffic here, so obviously made a lot of passes, and probably the biggest mover of the night. Can you kind of give us your experience tonight on making passes and getting around this place?
It was pretty hard to pass on the bottom. Like even with saving tires, it was really hard to pass down low. So I just tried to I knew I didn't have the fastest pace, so I figured that I was a top 5 car. So whenever Zach and Breyer caught me, I just let them go, and then I just settled into 4th or 5th, and I was just trying to run my own race and make sure that I didn't like hit anyone or like kill my tires or anything like.
Yeah, 10-4, and it looked like you did a pretty good job of maintaining the race car, keeping good pace and keeping those guys within arm's reach. But you came in 3 points outside of the playoff cutoff there. It looks like you will jump up inside the top 12. So, how much comfort does that give you moving forward to a track like the Roval next week?
That gives me a huge boost because I know that on road courses, my pace is not that good. So I need that, to make sure that I'm able to be far enough ahead of. I think the cutoff is 13th, so I'm trying to make sure I'm far enough ahead of that heading into Talladega, so I don't have to worry about being wrecked and missing the chase.
Yeah, 10-4. That's a wild card, towards the end of the season there, and you're right now with a 1-point advantage, so not too much breathing room, but with runs like you've had these last few weeks, it looks like you could easily move up the standings here. But you come home second, not quite a back-to-back win but a great run nonetheless. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
You guys for broadcasting, and Sunoco and FEG and Cosman for the current car I was running, and Richmond Raceway. I appreciate all you guys.
Awesome, Malik. Well, congrats on another top 3 finish here, and we'll catch you next week at the Roval.
All right, man. I'll see you later.
All right, that was Malik Ray, second place finisher. Let's go to third place, John Furness. Let's get him up here in the booth with us. John Furness, this is Adam, the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Oh, pretty good. And John, it's probably a relief for you to get another solid finish here. You were up in the top 10 all night. Could you give us a rundown of how things went and how the car was for you tonight?
Yeah, it was all in all a good night. Happy to come away with a third. I don't feel like we ran that well, but it was kind of tough for me tonight. I didn't really have a good feel on the car, but towards the end there, it felt pretty good. We got that nice long green flag run at the end, getting to a rhythm and just clicking off laps, and the car started feeling better and better. All in all, it was a good night, and had a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you've had a few, a string of bad finishes kind of in the midsection of this season. You started off strong with 2 top 5s and kind of, got punched in the face there almost with those a few wrecks throughout the season. So, how much confidence does it give you moving forward with another top 3 run, also going to a place like the Roval next week?
Yeah, a little bit. The Roval is its own animal, so we'll see how that shakes out. But yeah, we started off pretty decent here, and then we just had a string of bad luck. A lot of races in a row where we're just getting wrecked or finding trouble, and just having one thing after another happen that didn't go our way. So it's nice to turn it around tonight, even though I think we had an up and down night. I know I spun once on my own off of 2. Just trying too hard, so had to settle down a little bit and get it back together. But it's nice to get a good run.
Yeah, and you recovered very nicely from that spin to get back up here in the top 3, and you were pretty much in the top 6, I think, the entire race. So, you say you may not have had a good handle on the car, but obviously one of the fastest guys out here tonight. So, probably a lot to be proud of, taking away third place here tonight. So. Anybody want to give a shout out to for tonight's finish?
Yeah, want to congratulate Anthony on the win. Like to thank ButtKicker, Next Level Racing, Crockett Creek Beef Jerky, Blaze Pizza. Like to thank the admins for putting this deal together, and thank you for the broadcast and everybody who came out and raced tonight. It was a lot of fun there.
Awesome, John. Well, congrats on a top 3 here, kind of getting the monkey off your back again, and we look forward to seeing what you can do next week at the Roval.
All right, thanks a lot. Hey, I want to also wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Awesome, and happy Thanksgiving to you as well.
Thanks a lot.
We'll catch you then.
All right, take care.
All right. And that was your third place finisher, John Furness, but of course coming out on top tonight, Anthony Burrows, that number 62 machine. Great finish for him here. His second victory of the season in race number 10 of the NorseForce Valhalla Cup Series. And let's jump into our full results for tonight's race. Anthony Burrows comes home on top in this this race that was kind of littered with cautions in the first half and then went green the entire second half of the race. So an awesome run, over 100 laps by these guys to close it out. Anthony Burrows comes out on top with the strategy to pit late during that second half. So he was able to leapfrog Malik Ray at the very end, and Malik will come home second. John Furness with a solid run in third here tonight. Zach Nichols comes home in fourth after kind of an up and down evening. Rajah Caruth comes home with the top 5. Great run for him. Dylan Parker comes home in 6th. Jake Matheson comes home in the 7th position. Ian Smith finishing in the 8th spot. Robbie Adi recovering nicely to finish in 9th, so good result for him. And Keith Mayato comes home with a top 10. Dylan Alt going to come home in 11th here tonight. Briar LaPrade 1 lap down in 12th. I think he did actually run it out on fuel, so it cost him a whole lap, and he finished in 12th. But he decided to stick with the strategy, and he rode it to the finish. Eric Royce comes home in 13th. Derek Justice, the same strategy, over 100 laps on tires and fuel. He comes home 14th. Jimmy Moas comes home in the 15th position after pitting extremely late. And Connor Horn comes home 16th. 17th was Nick Holslander. 18th, Chris Samard. 19th, Mark Love, and Kirk Marble rounds out the top 20. In 21st, it was Nicholas Short. 22nd, Matt Kemp. And Justin Mattello, the last driver to start tonight, comes home in 23rd. Josh Lambert did not take the field here tonight. So Anthony Burrow is going to be your winner in race number 10 of the NorseForce Valhalla Cup Series from Richmond. And we want to thank you all for tuning in here tonight. Of course, this is V-Speed. We are live on Twitch here tonight, multiple times throughout the week usually. And if you haven't already, please consider following or subscribing and showing us your support that way. I want to thank everybody who followed tonight and tuned in. Hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast. You can also find us on YouTube at V-Speed Media, where we post race replays from throughout the season, as well as other interesting content. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/VSpeedSim, where we post race announcements before each and every broadcast. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter as well, with those same announcements, as well as new merchandise, special events, and on-site reporting. This has been a presentation of the NorseForce Valhalla Cup Series Race 10 here at Richmond Raceway comes to a close. I want to thank the sponsors, Blaze Pizza, ButtKicker, Next Level Racing, as well as Crockett Creek Beef Jerky. And we will be back next week with the NorseForce Valhalla Cup Series live from the Roval for race number 11. So you won't want to miss that. It'll be a good race for sure. The road courses in these Cup cars are a ton of fun to watch. So looking forward to that one. And we will not be broadcasting tomorrow night as it is Thanksgiving. I want to wish everyone a happy and safe Thanksgiving. Please enjoy time with your family, friends, loved ones, and show them that you are thankful for them, and hopefully it's a great day for everyone out there. Thank you for tuning in, and until next week, have a great holiday and a great weekend.